Board of Elections, Joshua Jenkins with Democracy Live, Stacy Brandon Smith with Disability Rights Ohio, who's behind the camera, and she'll let us know if we have any questions as we go along. So we're here today at the Franklin County Board of Elections to talk about a new option that's now available for voters who have vision impairment or other print disabilities. It allows them to cast an absentee ballot using a screen reader. It's called the Remote Absentee Ballot Marking Tool. It allows voters who have vision impairment or other print disabilities to receive their absentee ballot by email and then print, sign, and mail in the ballot using the envelope that's mailed to them by their Board of Elections. Until now, Ohio's absentee voting process has been entirely paper-based, which meant that people who couldn't read text on a page or use a pen to write had no choice but to trust somebody else to mark their absentee ballot for them. So this lack of accessibility took away their right to cast their ballot privately and independently. And in 2015, Disability Rights Ohio filed the lawsuit Heindel v. Husted, which sought to remedy this problem by pushing the state of Ohio to provide an accessible tool for marking an absentee ballot. So now, for the first time this November, Ohio voters who have vision impairment or other print disabilities have an option to vote absentee that allows them to vote privately and independently using the new remote ballot marking tool. And we have Shelby Heindel here. She's the named plaintiff in the case. Shelby, could you tell us what this new remote absentee ballot marking tool means for you?
I am very happy to have this option for voting. I have voted many ways using many techniques, and currently I do vote at the local poll using an accessible voting machine. My challenge, as I see it going forward, is going to be transportation to the poll. So this will be a good thing for me, and I'm looking forward to using it. One thing that I want to say is that I am very thankful to the National Federation of the Blind and Disability Rights Ohio for taking on this project and asking me to be the person behind it, because without a person, it would not have been able to move forward. So also, the thing that I learned today while at this demonstration that makes me really happy and I'm very thankful for is the envelope that must be signed for the ballot to be put into is also marked. You put your signature between the two hole punches at the bottom of the envelope, and then you put it in the mailing envelope and send it back to the Board of Elections. You also will receive an email that they received this. They must receive this in order for your vote to count, because it's the hard copy. Previously, I had thought that I could mark my ballot independently, print it out, and have someone show me where to sign it so that I didn't sign over top of the voting marks. And that was something I was grateful for. But this is even more private, more confidential. So I only have to share with someone that I want to share with or not.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Shelby. So now what we'd like to do is talk with Zach Manifold with the Franklin County Board of Elections, and he's going to explain the new remote absentee ballot marking process, the application process, filling out your application, and then after that we're going to have Joshua and Shelby do a demonstration and discussion about the new system. So Zach, can you tell us about the application process?
Yes. First, thanks for being here today. We're excited to be able to offer this tool to Franklin County voters, and we look forward to working together in the future. The first step in the process is going to be filling out the 11G application for absent voters ballot by a voter with a disability and request to use the remote ballot marking system. So you can find this form at myohiovote.com, and if you click on voters with disabilities and then forms, There's actually an HTML version on there that will walk you through all the selections. You can make those selections and then print it off, and you just need to sign it down at the bottom. And that's probably the easiest way for voters to fill out that form. Then you just need to return the hard copy wet signature of that form to your county board of elections. When they get that, they will verify all of your information on here. I'm going to walk you through the information real quick. You have to have your registered voter name, so however you're registered with your board of elections. The second requirement is your date of birth. Third requirement is you need to put the registered address of where you're registered to vote. The fourth is the voter ID requirement. You may have seen this if you ever voted absentee before. You can use the last 4 digits of your social security number. You could use and this is all or, so just one of these, or a driver's license, Ohio driver's license number, or the very long list of other options, copy of a current and valid photo identification, military ID, current utility statement in the last 12 months, bank statement, government statement, paycheck, government documents. Any of those options you could also include with this form when you send it back if you just want to mark that box. So you can use that as your ID as well. The fifth requirement is you need to mark the date of the election and what it is. So it's going to be the November 6th, 2018 general election for this upcoming election. And then the sixth box is the special box about using this remote ballot marking system. It says, check this box if the following statement is true. I have a qualifying disability under the Americans with Disability Act, and I want to mark my ballot using the remote ballot marking system provided by my county board of elections in order to mark my ballot independently. Deliver my ballot to me at the following email address. So that's where you're going to, in box 6, that's where you're going to list whatever email address you would like your county board of elections to send your ballot to, and the packet of information. Number 7 is a delivery of identification envelope and statement of voter. Now this you have to fill out if you want to get, the Board of Elections is going to send you a packet of with a hole punch, it's the 12A hole punch. It's an identification envelope that your ballot goes in. It has a hole punch where you sign down at the bottom. And they're also going to send you the return envelope. So the return envelope is going to be a little bit bigger, so you can get that in, so you'll know the difference in the two. The hole punch is on the ID envelope. The return ballot envelope, it fits right inside that. So if you would like to get that, the board is required to send that to every voter. It's going to go to your voter registry, registered voter address that's on file with the Board of Elections. If you would like to get it to a different address, fill out box number 7 on that 11G form, and you can get that packet sent wherever you would like. And then number 8 is the signature or whatever mark that you have on record at the Board of Elections. Make sure you mark that down there at the bottom in box 8. So that's the process to apply. You need to send that back to your county Board of Elections, a hard copy. After you do that, they'll check all that, they'll verify it. You will get an email with a link to your ballot. That's going to be ballot specific, so your precinct. That'll be the first link on there. You're also going to have a 12A, which this is a alternative to waiting for the Board of Elections to mail this. You have the option of either printing off the 12A from the email address, which is the ID. It's essentially a sheet of the ID envelope. And then the 12N is the instructions for the absent voter to using a remote ballot marking system. So this walks you through all the requirements on sending back your ballot, of marking your ballot, sending back your ballot. So you'll get those attached to the email along with your link. You also, Shelby's going to walk us through some steps here in a second on once you click that link, what all that looks like. I think Jason had maybe we'll stop here for a few questions maybe.
Yeah, we might have some questions from Stacy, and then I actually have a question for you. So when you download this application, when you look for this application on the web, Is it in an accessible format that you can read the application for absentee ballot?
The 11G.
Mhm.
Yes, that's why go to myohiovote.com
I'm putting the links in the comments.
and
Very
click
good.
on, like I said, voters with disabilities and then forms. And when you click on that 11G, it will take you to an HTML fillable format. So you can do that and then just print that off and everything already be pre-filled. And you just have to make that mark at the bottom of that form when you print it out.
And I think it's available on HTML and PDF.
Yes.
So
can't
whichever
download it
you
too.
prefer. Super. Do we have any questions from anybody?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, feel free to give us some questions. I think next what we're going to do here is talk with Joshua from Democracy Live and Shelby, and they're going to do a demonstration of this new system, kind of talk about how the functionality of it is.
So the first thing we have to do is log in. You click on your link for your specific ballot and your precinct. Then you log in using your name and your birthday. You click next and you go to a verification screen. So you read that and verify it. And if it is correct, you click on continue. And that will take you to a page with a couple of selections, which Joshua can tell us those selections.
So the next screen she's talking about, the first selection is the ability to download those return materials that Zach was talking about. On the off chance you spill or the mail doesn't arrive in time, you are able to still print those materials at home and be able to use those to send as well, purely as a backup. So if you have your hard copy, it's not necessary to print those materials, but it is an available option. The second one is the access to your ballot through our secure select system. And it then brings you up to a selectable ballot. Shelby.
And so then it takes you to step one, and that is your ballot.
Your ballot is presented below. To mark your selection, click on the checkbox. To remove a selection, click on the checkbox again.
So you'll have to explain that, Shelby, because I don't know if the microphone can hear you.
Mark your choices.
So step one is mark your choices,
Your ballot is presented below.
and your ballot will be below.
Click on the checkbox. To remove a selection, click on the checkbox again.
So you check the box that you want to select. If you are not happy with that selection, you click on it again and it will be removed.
To vote for a qualified right-dashed candidate who is not listed on the ballot, click the checkbox beside the right-dashed space at the end of the candidate list.
It does give you an option to click on a box to write in a candidate. And if you click on that box, then you type in the name of the candidate that you want to put there. Step two, when you get finished with this, you click on next and you go to step two of the process, and that is to review your ballot. That step has links back to each race in case you would like to make a change. And then you go to step three, which is to print out your ballot. And then you put it in these envelopes and mail it back to the Board of Elections, making sure that you have signed the envelope.
And Shelby, are there any protections here if, for instance, you accidentally chose two candidates and there was only one choice available?
The tool will not allow you to do that. It will tell you that you've made a mistake and it'll have you redo that race.
So there's a protection in there for that kind of thing?
Yes.
The system does generate a pop-up warning that you have attempted to overvote a selection, and then instructions on how to deselect should you wish to make a change.
Super.
Also on the review screen, it will give information of an undervote should you have been offered vote for not more than 3 and you only selected 2. It will inform you that you had another option available, but it's up to you whether you want to make 3 selections or not.
Great. So then once you've completed this process, you can print out your ballot. and then you can sign the envelope, not the ballot.
Right.
So it's totally private. Nobody has to look at your actual ballot to go through that process.
Correct.
Awesome. Okay, well, great. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming to talk about remote absentee ballot marking today. I think that just about wraps up our Facebook Live event today. We're really excited about this new process and hope that you check it out. So finally, I just have a couple reminders. Remember that the deadline to register to vote is next Tuesday. That's October 9th. You can register to vote online at myohiovote.com. The deadline to request an absentee ballot is noon on November 3rd. That means that it either has to be postmarked by November 5th or hand-delivered before 7:30 on November 6th. Please call your county's Board of Elections or Disability Rights Ohio if you have any questions about this. And finally, while you can call anytime before the election, Disability Rights Ohio does operate a voter hotline all day on Election Day. Again, that's November 6th. So if you have questions, give us a call. Our number is 614-466-7264. And for more info on voting and other disability topics, our website is disabilityrightsohio.org. Thank you so much and happy voting.
Thank you.